All right, welcome everyone to our daily Forex market analysis call in order to prepare for May 10th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. And if you have questions about your individual trading needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. So we'll start off taking a look at our Forex factory here. In terms of the news today, we didn't really have much. We just had Australian dollar news, and then we have some minor news. We did have Joel's job openings, which came in positive. And then Kaplan spoke. We saw Bank of Japan, summary of opinions. But other than that, there wasn't much going on. So let's take a look at May 10th. So very important thing here, we have ECB President Draghi speaking for Euro into the US session at 8 a.m. Eastern here. That will be very important for Euro dollar or any of the Euro crosses. So one of the things that ECB has been trying to do is kind of contain market expectations, because there were some comments from ECB members where they were talking about reducing the asset purchases, contracting that program. So they were not talking about interest rate hikes like Fed has been talking, US Fed has been talking, but they were talking about basically injecting less money into the economy. If that happens, if ECB starts talking about that again, that will be positive for the euro. So keep that in view as Draghi speaks tomorrow. Draghi has actually been quite neutral. He did not. He said that they're not looking to taper the program off, and as a result, euro kind of did not get that jump. So just keep that in mind over the next little while as ECB. We hear more from ECB. If they start talking about tapering the program, that will be positive for euro crosses, all the euro crosses. Euro is likely to benefit from that. Other than that, we have crude oil inventories, but nothing much other than that in terms of major news here. Into the US session, we do have official cash rate, RBNZ rate statement, and monetary policy statement, followed by a press conference. So this is expected to be volatile for the New Zealand dollar. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's move on to our charts. All right, so now we have had a very strong candle close for euro. So based on this daily candle close, we're looking for another drop. However, and one thing to keep in mind here is that we are into the bottom of this range. We are back into the bottom of this range. So 0,900 level, it will be a key level here in terms of euro. If this level gets breached, so I'm looking for basically price to push up and then drop. So the type of move that I'm looking for is price to move up and then do a drop, and then the target will be this level here. Once this level breaks, we have this big gap. We have this gap, and then we have this level here as well. So that's a big level that we have once that breaches. But tomorrow, I'm not looking for that to breach. I'm just looking for price to basically pull back up into 10900 level. But do keep in mind Draghi speaking, and if Draghi says something that is seen positive for euro could push up very easily. So at this point, looking for a pullback into 0,900 level, and then a potential drop into the bottom here, which is 10820 level here. So that's the move that I am expecting. So push up and then a drop into 10820 level. Now let's go take a look at the 1 hour. So in terms of the 1 hour, right now we are kind of playing around with the pivot point. So 0,900 level is right here. It could go higher into R1. Keep that in mind. So 109.15 or 20 level here. So it could push back up and then drop from there. That is another potential here as well. So it could pull up higher and then drop. So that's second level for pullback, but overall looking for further drop in the euro dollar. So bias is bearish. Pound here, pound has put in a very, very neutral candle, very small body, about the same size, pins on both sides. At this point, this makes it very, very neutral. So no bias, looking for price to stay within this range. Once the range breaks, so we need to wait for price to show us which direction it's going to go in. At this point, I would be looking for price to basically whichever direction it goes in. If it drops, I'm looking for price to do one of these and move back into the range. If the price goes up all the way to the top of the range, I'm looking for price to bounce off of that, basically trade back into the range. So both levels, 129.80 as well as 129.100, are potential trading opportunities. We do want to see price actually put in a trade setup before we take the trade, but both of those levels, so 129.87, about 90 level, will be a potential short. 129.100 will be a potential long, unless it breaks. So that's where we need to watch it. If that level breaks to the downside, for example, if the 129.100 level breaks to the downside, we're looking for a back test and then a drop back into this support and resistance area. This is the top of the bottom range here. So we're looking for 128.40-ish area as our target. If it drops, that's where we are looking for price to go into. Now, if the price, let's say something crazy comes in, there's some talk, and we see this happen, then we're looking for move up higher into 130, into this level right over here. So that's our 130.65 area. That will be the next potential move. So at this point, we're going to wait to see which direction the price goes in. Here we are just sideways at the moment, so nothing major. It's smack in the middle, so can't say anything. Again, if it goes into this R2 level, we're looking for a drop. If this goes into 2900, we're looking for move to the upside. And these are these align up really nicely. We have S1 down here and R2 at the top. So this is your normal range bound move. That's what we'll expect. If it does drop, like I said before, we are looking for this back test of that level and a drop into the bottom 128.40 level, which is also our S3 level. So that's the move we'll be looking for if it breaks to the downside. If it breaks above, we're looking for pullback onto the top side of R2 and then a move up higher. Okay, dollar CAD here. Dollar CAD was actually, so yesterday we had a very neutral candle close. We had big pin on the top and a green body. So now we have pretty much the same thing. Price did move up higher. So this is still a range bound trade. Again, we are looking for another move to the upside, but it is very neutral. So I'm still looking for price to hold within this range. And now we are, so again, range bound move for dollar CAD here as well. Looking at the 1 hour, so here we are making higher highs. If price holds above the pivot, then we are likely to see, if price holds above the pivot here, we are likely to see one of these. So see this inefficient move here and this inefficient move got filled, and then we had a bit of a pullback, and then this inefficient move hasn't, we got filled to the breaking point right over here, but we haven't filled this part of the move. So if it breaks above this, so the scenario we are likely, or we could see, would be price holds above pivot, does a back test into the pivot, goes up, and then we get one of these, and then price goes up again. So we could see this move, but once it gets to the top, we are likely to see one of these. So that's our move that we are projecting. If, however, the price stays below the pivot point, so let's say for some reason it holds below the pivot point, then we are looking for, or it goes above the pivot points, then comes and drops again, then we are looking for move into this S1 level. Once S1 level breaks, we're looking into this move back down here into the bottom again. So we have to be open to both sides of the move just because it is smack in the middle as well. But this particular, we filled this inefficiency up to the breaking point. This is still left, so we could see price go up, hold above the pivot, kind of go up here, break through, and do like one of those really slow moves. So probably not the best pairs to trade. Aussie US dollar here, a very nice drop. We saw we had RBA news yesterday. As a result, it dropped. We are into this support and resistance level here, 73.30. At this point, we are bearish on this. In terms of the pullback, we could probably get a pullback into this 73.65 level. So what I mean by that is we could see a move kind of like this, go into this level here, and then a drop, another pullback, and drop. So the target here is 72.80 to the downside. So we are certainly bearish on Aussie dollar. Here we are. It is the moves are becoming smaller now because it has been hit for a number of days. So we have been kind of in this bit of a downtrend here. So we could see this trend kind of come to an end. So keep an eye out for that. At this point though, here we are. We need to see a break of this level. If the price breaks through here, then we could see a bit of a pullback and then another drop into 72.80 area. Okay, so the bias is to the downside. New Zealand dollar here, we did have a bearish close for the day. However, we're starting to see these pins in the bottom here as well. The bias for New Zealand dollar is bearish, but we are again in this range. So for this one, I am just looking for price to basically drop towards the bottom here, and then we may get one of these moves. We may see a double bottom put in and a price move to the upside. Now we do have a New Zealand news, so that's something to be kept in mind. If the news comes out positive, we could see a break above this level here, 69.20, but the bias is certainly to the downside. So here we are, price is holding below the pivot point at this level. At this point. And once this level breaks, so we are likely to see one of these and then move to the downside. So test this level here, 68.40 level will be the target to the downside. Only risk would be the news. News can make it go whichever way. So in terms of a pullback, we could, so we did see a pullback up already. So as long as it stays below the pivot, it is likely to move lower. Pound yen, we were bullish on this yesterday based on this candle close here. Based on today's candle close, we are still bullish on this. We could get a bit of a pullback, and our pullback could even come into this level here. So the pullback could be big, 147.40. So it could come into 146.80. So but overall though, we are bullish on this. So wait for the pullback and then we could go long. The target is the high, the 148.45-ish level, so 148.50 level. And that's where, because we haven't been at that level for a number of months now, so since December 21, 2016, so we could get a reaction at that level. It's likely that there will be sellers sitting at that level, so watch out for that. I would not put my targets higher than that level, so the target will be slightly below that level. Looking at the 1 hour here, we do see that the price is holding above 126.80 at the moment, and looks bullish at the moment, but overall we are bullish on this. So as long as the price keeps holding above that level there, we are looking for a further move to the upside. And as we can see, the target is 148.45, so there's about 100 pips of room there still. Pound yen, dollar yen here. Dollar yen is bullish as well. The next target here would be around this level, 148.80 level. 80 levels are always nice levels. In terms of pullback here, we are looking at a potential pullback into this area right around here, 113.50. So it could pull back lower and then go up. So we never know exactly how much it's going to pull back, but the bias based on the daily close would be to the upside. Yesterday, our bias was very much to the upside based on the bullish pin bar here. That's a very bullish pin bar, and as you can see, price moved up. So now we are still looking for another move to the upside. So here we are, and in terms of, I don't have my daily pivots. Let me just put those in. Okay, so here we are. So we are right, price is playing around with the pivot. If it holds above the pivot, then as we can see, we are looking for a move up. First target would be the high here, 114.20 level. And then once it blows to the, once it gets on the other side of the high, we're looking for another move to the upside. Okay, next one here is Euro Yen. Euro Yen, our bias was neutral yesterday, and today it is it's no better. We do have a bullish close here, but there's a long pin to the upside, which means I am still looking for this type of a range, not hugely bullish on this. The only time we could get bullish on this is once it breaks above this 124.45, so 50 level, and then we could see another move to the upside. But this probably I would just leave it be. At this point, I'm looking for it to go into 124.50 level. If it holds above the level, then we could look for another move to the upside. But at this point, it is not, I'm neutral on this. So we could see it come back into the bottom, 123.00, or we could see it go back into 124.50. If it goes into the high, we're looking for a move back into the range. Unless it breaks, then we're definitely long. But if it holds the high here below the high, then we're looking for a move back into the range. If it comes towards the bottom here, 123.00, then we're looking for a move to the upside at this level. So just looking to trade the range. Not the best pair to trade in terms of strength here. I think pound yen or dollar yen are stronger than the euro yen at the moment. So let's take a look at, we did that. EURCAD here looks like it's moving up. Oh, no. Okay, so daily here. Yesterday we were bearish and we did see the price move down. Now we are, the candles are starting to get smaller and we are into support right here. So this looks very much like euro dollar here. See how we were looking for price to move down. So now we're looking for price to push back into 109.00 or 109.15. Same thing here as well. We did see a drop based on yesterday's bias. At this point, there are pins on both sides. It is still bearish, so the bias is bearish. But important thing will be to see if the price breaks this 148.80 level. If it's not able to break it, then once the price comes into this level, we're looking for a move back to the upside. Instead, in terms of pullbacks, we could see the price, it was a relatively small move, so we could see the price come back and test this 149.74, 80-ish level once again. And if it comes into this level will be important. If it stays below this level, then we are looking for price to drop. Otherwise, we could see it go back up. So this one is, again, not the best setup. So I would wait and see what it does. Once if the price comes down here, if it breaks through, this would give us a bearish bias. But right now price is pulling up, and in terms of a pull up, we're looking into 149.80, and this is the level we're looking for a potential drop. If this level does not hold, the price, let's say, goes through this level, then we're looking for one of these moves here. The first target will be this one here, and then we have all this level left. So not the cleanest one to trade at the moment, in my opinion. Okay, so sorry, we'll call it a wrap after this one. I keep having to cough. Okay, so here Aussie yen looks very neutral, very, very neutral actually. This is the range we're looking in. Very small body, long wicks to both sides. Here, this is the move. So in the last 2-3 days, it hasn't really gone anywhere because Australian dollar has been very, very weak. In this case, right now it is moving higher, so it's making higher lows, and it's moving up. So this will be the first target, 84, and this would be the decision point. If it holds below this level, then there could be a potential, so we could get one of these. And then we are looking into this level. So this level could give us one of these as well. So very much range bound trading. So we need to see this pair break one way or another. If it breaks above the high, and we are looking for, again, one of these moves back into the high here. But at this point, this is very neutral. Or if it does break below here, we're looking for back test and then drop into this level. But based on the current moves, this is the range. Essentially, hasn't really done much. If you see euro yen and pound yen and dollar yen, all of them take off to the upside, then I would expect Aussie yen to follow as well. However, not as strongly. So pound yen is and dollar yen are stronger than Aussie yen at this point. Okay, any questions or any other pairs you would like me to look at? Here's Euro Aussie. This kind of looks bearish actually. So this is a range bound at the moment, but once we break to the downside here, we could go lower. So this 147.63 is the key level. If we break like this, then we could see one of these moves down into this level, 146.50 level. But the key would be 147.60 level, this one here. But we are seeing pins to the upside, which means it could happen, and that could happen based on what euro does. All right, so we will call it a wrap.